a very bright and a cheerful good morning to all present. I am Dr. Shruti Sharma, and on the behalf of entire Dr. IT group, I welcome you all in the webinar on understanding COVID-19 and fighting it away. During these gloomy and uncertain times where everything has become so unpredictable, we have Dr. Avtar Singh with us, who will be guiding us regarding every SOP related to COVID-19. Dr. Avtar Singh is MBBS and MD Ophthalmology. He has served as PCMS for 32 years and has worked with administrative experience at the grassroots level of our health infrastructure. He also has industrial healthcare experience of 9 years. Dr. Singh has done trainings and seminars on National Health Program in collaboration with PGI Chandigarh and various other health institutes. Sir is presently working as a frontline warrior with 104 medical helpline. We welcome you, sir, and without taking much of your time, I hand over this webinar to Dr. Avtar Singh.
Thank you, Dr. Shruti. Thank you so much. Should we start?
Yes, sir, we can start. We are ready to take off. So you can start with your wise advice for all of us.
Right. So as you know, all of you, that this COVID-19 is a coronavirus disease. And first of all, this virus was detected in China in November 2019. Then it got spread to all these other countries and hence so-called pandemic. This virus has many strains, as you know, and some of them are very less virulent, while others are very virulent. This COVID-19 is very, very contagious disease and spreads through mainly mouth and nose. And then it settles down there for 24 to 48 hours. And from there, it further reaches other organs, mostly lungs, where it multiplies at a greater frequency and damages the lung alveoli and hence affecting the breathing process of a person. Now, as you already know, that there are various signs and symptoms of this deadly COVID-19. First of all, fever. It ranges from 99 to 104 degree Fahrenheit. And 2, sore throat. 3, watering of nose. 4th, breathing difficulty. Then 5th, diarrhea. 6, body aches and pains all over. And 7, loss of taste. And 8th, loss of smell. And 9, others are also. There are some irrelevant signs also. Now, let us talk about the prevention of this disease. The foremost precaution is mask. One must wear the mask. It should preferably be double layered or triple layered so that virus fails to enter these areas of mouth and nose. And it should be properly worn. As you see, some of the persons, they put the mask on the chin only, the others at mouth only. The ideal place is mouth and nose should be covered very well. Only then it can prevent the virus, the entry. And the second prevention is adequate distance of 2 to 3 meters. And thirdly, if you touch something, some surface, then we must ensure that washing of hands with soap, it should be proper for 30 to 40 seconds, or use of sanitizer frequently. Another sign is we should avoid visiting the crowded places like wedding, functions, and parties, all places like that. So these are some of the preventions. Now, if at all, if a person is experiencing any sign or symptom, then we must consult the doctor concerned as early as possible. First of all, we should go for COVID testing. COVID testing, very essential. First and foremost, investigation. If a person comes positive, then we go ahead accordingly. Mainly in this disease, the treatment part is symptomatic, because ideally there is no antiviral drug, ideally, because the virus is replicating at a greater speed. Its RNA replicates at all levels, at all times. That's why no medicine works. And we use most of the time antiviral drugs in a combination way. So as early as possible, we must consult the doctor concerned regarding any sign and symptoms. And if a person experiences some breathing difficulty, then we must ensure with the oximeter the SpO2 level. If the SpO2 level is less than 90, then the hospitalization is required. Or we must arrange some oxygen device, oxygen concentrator or oxygen cylinder at home. It can be helpful at home also. It's not necessary that for oxygen purpose, we should be hospitalized in the hospital, etc. It can be managed at home in a very good way. Rather, I advise most of the patients to get care at home only. Now, the various investigations in this, we go for, the most important is, if the breathing difficulty is there, then we go for X-ray chest or CT scan, so that the percentage of the lung area which is affected or damaged can be assessed.
Excuse me, Dr. Singh, I think you are on mute now. If you could please unmute yourself.
In this case, precaution is the best medicine. The best medicine is precautions. Now, the next is some of the cases when they are discharged. So what happens? They start taking some of the drugs at their own. I mean, they do the self-medication. For example, if we start the steroid, then they don't stop taking the steroid. They go on taking the steroids. So when steroids taken in unduly or in abundance, then they are very, very harmful. For example, so many cases of black fungus, mucormycosis, are coming up these days. As today, you must have read in the paper, 21 cases of mucormycosis or black fungus have been admitted today. So this way, a bit about mucormycosis. black fungus. So mainly this is of three types: black fungus, nasocerebral, second is pulmonary breathing, pulmonary, right, category. Then the third one is GIT. In nasocerebral, these signs are nasal discharge, and which is blackish or brownish in nature, and on the face there is a swelling of the face or nose, and that in that area there will be a lot of tenderness, and sometimes patient won't be in a position to open the mouth, etc. He will be feeling very difficulty in swallowing the food also. And in pulmonary variety, pulmonary category, as the lungs are affected a lot, breathing process is affected a lot, and the lungs are damaged, mostly in most of the cases, and a person finds breathing process and finds a great difficulty in breathing, and then the patient is admitted in the ICU, etc., in a very critical condition. The another is GIT is also affected in this black fungus disease. If the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, is involved, then dyspepsia, swelling of the abdomen, and even bleeding in the stools, in the urine, etc. So in this case, the condition, most of the time we hospitalize the case because the condition is day by day getting from bad to worse. And in this case, the medicine, the preferred medicine is, which is the antifungal in nature, is amphotericin B. This is again going very short as the cases are rising more and more. So again, there is a shortage of this medicine. So I will advise all of you, take care. The undue use of steroids should not be done. One must care not to use the steroids. If at all steroids are started, they should be stopped well in time, and that too in low doses. And number two, this is mostly seen in those cases having comorbidities like diabetes and hypertension and other heart ailments, because in these comorbidities the immune system goes weaker. As the immunity goes down, then this fungus attacks, and as a result, although a person has recovered from COVID disease, but he falls prey to this deadly disease of mucormycosis black fungus. So I will advise you not to take this cell medication. Always go by the advice of the expert doctors as far as this disease is concerned. So these are some of the points in which I will advise you to take all the precautions. The precautions in this disease are same: wearing of the mask and maintaining the proper distance, thirdly washing of hands, and above all, misuse of steroids. It should be discouraged. So that way we can be saved from this disease also, black fungus. No, I advise you one thing more. If there are minor symptoms, mild symptoms, moderate symptoms like fever, etc., and if a case is positive, report has come positive, or a person is asymptomatic with positive report, then there is nothing to be panic. We can start the management at home only, and others members in the family should be asked to wear the proper mask, and that positive member can be well attended by taking all the precautions. Nothing to be panic. And the diet part of the person is also very important. If we are able to take the diet part of the patient, particularly, then the recovery rate is much more. So this way, we can start the medicines at home also. Even if the oxygen part, SpO2 goes down, nothing to be panic. If the this device oxygen concentrator is managed at home, or cylinder is oxygen cylinder is being managed at home, then it can be very well managed at home. There's no need to go to the hospital, and no hospitalization is required. As I'm getting so many calls from 104 medical helpline, I'm advising, whatever I'm advising, they are getting a great relief. And I'm not asking them at all to go to the hospital for mild to moderate symptoms. Only I advise the severe cases, which are very, very less, whose oxygen level is less than 90 or 85. Only then I ask them, okay, go to the hospital or manage the oxygen concentrator at home. If they manage it, then no need to go to the hospital. So this way we can well manage at home also. So in this case, I will advise all of you to keep some of the medicines at home also, because if something happens at night, then you need it will be futile to visit the markets or finding the chemist at night. Like a few tablets of paracetamol can be kept at home, and as in this case sometimes diarrhea occurs, ORS packets of ORS can be kept at home, and other immune boosting drugs like vitamin C, Limc, and Supradin, iron, vitamin D, they can be started well in time. And I will advise also in those cases where the oxygen level is very less or going down, to start the exercises in a prone position by taking the deep breath. Deep inhalation, then again exhale the same. Number of times. These deep breathing exercises can prove a boon in the prevention of this disease. And in my practical experiences, in many cases, the oxygen level has been improved by this exercise only. And another thing is very, very important. I will advise you also, if the chest congestion is there and sore throat is there, or whatever from the nose is there, please go ahead with steam inhalation. The pattern of steam inhalation is very important. I will advise you to start inhale the steam from nose and to exhale from mouth 10 times, and vice versa, meaning thereby, then from the mouth, inhale from the mouth, then do exhale from the nose, again 10 times. This process can be repeated 2 or 3 times in a day. It will certainly help to improve the SpO2, oxygen saturation level. And similarly, if the temperature is too much, then I will advise go for cold sponging at 5 places. 1 at forehead, and then palmar area of the upper hands, palmar areas, not the wrist at the back area, palmar areas. And then the sole area of our feet. These are the 5 places where cold sponging is proving very beneficial to reduce the temperature. And similarly, balloon exercises, they are also playing a very good role regarding the expansion of the lungs. When we blow the balloon, the lower part of the lungs gets inflated. It gets expanded. This expansion is very important. Lower part of the lungs, and this exercise is of immense value if we do it 4 to 5 times in a day. So advise others also, whosoever says, okay, I'm having difficulty in breathing, and these exercises can be advised to him or her. And the other important point is hydration part is also very important. There are 2 categories. One is diabetic, the other is non-diabetic. The diabetic persons, we are not to ask him to take sugar, etc. This is to be restricted. All sugary part to be restricted, like potato, vegetables, and sugar part and sweetened things not to be taken by a person who is diabetic. While in a non-diabetic patient, we can advise him to take glucose D powder in lukewarm water number of times by sipping. So this will definitely help in recovery part. And its quantity should be 1.5 liter to 2 liters in 24 hours. This hydration part is very important. It should be taken care of. And the other part, the diet, role of diet in these patients, COVID patients. You see, vitamin C family, for example, oranges and oranges, lemon, etc. These play a very positive role if we can take these vital fruits. And the other thing is, similarly, if the person is diabetic particularly, then we can ask him to take particular diet, green leafy vegetables like spinach, palak ka saag, and cabbage and beans and methi vegetable, because these vegetables are green and they are leafy in nature. They play a very important role in the recovery part. And black chanas also, they can be taken. And the various other juices in diabetic patients like Karelas, etc., they can be taken care of. And in a diabetic patient, as I've seen in practically in some of my clinical experience, and you see, amchur or 50 gram, adrak 50 gram, and pudina 50 gram, and garlic 25 gram. If we mix together by grinding, this is very good in reducing the sugar part. It can be taken in chutney form in 3 times a day, and sugar cases, the recovery part will be much more. So the role of the diet is very important. So I hope all of you will be taking all these aspects into consideration so that you can save from this deadly disease and your families and your dear and near ones and others whosoever come across with you. So now, after this, there will be There will be a few minutes in which you can ask any particular or relevant questions. So important part I have covered, and I hope this will be helping you a lot. So that's all about it.
Thank you,
Shruti,
sir.
can we
Yes, ma'am. So the house is open for the questions now. Anyone who would like to ask any question from Dr. Avtar Singh, we are most welcome.
Dr. Avtar, Diljit from Dr. IT. Doctor,
Yes,
my
please.
question is what Diljit from Dr. IT.
Welcome ji, Daljit, welcome, हाँ जी.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
Doctor, what is the percentage, like आपने black fungus की बात करी है ना? What is the probable percentage of this disease happening in COVID recovered cases? 1%,
Yeah.
2%.
Very right.
What
You are
percentage?
asking about the percentage.
हाँ, in India, what is the probable rate? अभी क्या rate चल रहा है?
Actually, its percentage is under surveillance because it is on the increase. Every day the percentage differs. Every day. Now it is more and more coming up. Because you see, in some of the cases, we are using the steroids. The misuse of the steroid, the people don't stop the steroid at all. They go on taking. One. And number two, in diabetic patients, the sugar level is very important to check time and again and again. They are not bothering about the sugar part. They're not about the sugar dose. Once they, whatever they are taking, they go on taking that. They go on taking that only. Although in many cases, the sugar level, when I receive a call from various circles, when I ask about it, they say 300, 400, 250, like that. Imagine. I ask them the first part, most important part is, first of all, we have to control the sugar part. Very, very important. Then the other medicines will work only, because if you don't care for it, the immune system goes out of balance. Immunity goes down.
Achha, Doctor, how much time will it, after COVID, someone has taken steroids for about 3-4 days? Is okay? Because most of the time doctors are giving steroid for chest infection.
Daljit, this, some of the doctors, they somehow they miss one part in steroids.
Yeah.
Steroid is such a medicine. Once started, suppose if we start 40 milligram in some case, then how to 40 milligram we take for 5 dose, 30 another 5 days, then 20 milligram another 5 days, then 10 milligram another 5 days, then 5 milligram for 3 days, like that. And the other 6 milligram, for example, sudden they stop it, that is also not good. 6 milligram, then 6 milligram for 5 days, then we reduce it to 4 milligram for another 5 days, then we reduces 2 milligram for another 5. This is very important to taper off this medicine gradually. Very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Disadvantage, because the people, they are getting steroids for about 5-6 days or 1 week. So that is okay. 5-6 days lena is not that harmful for a normal person, not diabetic.
That's good. It is very useful, no doubt. No good drugs, but they are very notorious also.
Yes.
Notorious. They are life-saving also. But at the end, they can play havoc with the life if not used judicially. Judicious use is very important.
Right.
The doses part, one must take the doses part. Doses, in what doses the particular patients required, then how to taper it off gradually, in how much time. Very important.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt you. Please, I think I am very sorry to interrupt, but we are running out time.
Okay.
So I believe, it is the time to wrap up this
Right.
session.
Thank you.
Okay.
So nice,
Good
Naveen, thank you.
afternoon.
Very intelligent question by
Yes.
the way, I must appreciate. And now I may request Dr. Suprina for a vote of
Yeah,
thanks.
thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of entire Dr. IT group, I, Dr. Suprina, thank Dr. Avtar Singh for taking out of time from his busy schedule and apprising regarding COVID-19. We are really overwhelmed, sir. I also thank our body chairman, Dr. M.K. Mahajan, and our respected CEO, Ms. Deepti Mahajan Batra, for always guiding us towards excellence. I also thank the faculty members, guests, and students for joining in and making this webinar a success. Have a great day ahead, and please remember, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, all of you, once again. Goodbye and take care. Thank you.
Thank you.